Welcome to my blog. Week 4 players are stepping up to the plate. Go to my blog and see my picks for the week. You know, week to week I get emails from fans, and they want me to share some questions with all you fantasy players out there, what I think about the NFL. The first question that a fan wrote me was, which NFL team do you think they have the best defense, and why should fantasy players avoid playing against those guys? Well, I think the Ravens, the Giants, the Vikings, and the 49ers defense are playing outstanding football right now, and they have a great front line. That puts a lot of pressure on the quarterbacks. They have great linebackers to stop the runs, and the secondaries are playing awesome. So if I was a fantasy player, I would definitely try to avoid them in any way I can. As far as if you have a running back going against these guys, he's not going to get that many yards. So, sit him that week. But those are things I would focus on if I was a fantasy player and facing those kind of defenses. My second question that was emailed to me, do any of today's defensive players remind you of any players I played against when I played? Well, yes. The Ravens remind me of the 1985 Chicago Bears team, and Ray Lewis is like the Michael Singletary of that defense. The Ravens are definitely playing some great football right now, and I like the New York Giants as well. They're more physical than a lot of these teams out there. They're pretty physical up front. The front line is really putting a lot of pressure on quarterbacks. And they're just so athletic. They remind me of the LT days with Lawrence Taylor, coached by, Bill Parcells. Very talented group up front and well-rounded, of guys, So, yeah, those two teams are definitely are great defenses, but, teams that I can identify with because I had to face them quite a bit. My third question that I got from a fan, we've seen a lot of top running backs get hurt in the first few weeks. Guys like Frank Gore, LaDainian Tomlinson, Brian Westbrook, Marion Barber, Felix Jones. Why are so many running backs getting injured early this season? Well, the one thing I don't like is the field turf. It's just something about that synthetic, rubber grass. It just, for me, I think guys will just take a chance of getting their ankle caught and twisted. Like Frank Gore hurt his foot. And it's been having problems with that, for the last couple of years from the field turf. And, they need to go back to just a regular turf. I think, it would definitely help a lot, and, as far as, keeping guys healthy. And another reason I think why, players are getting banged up, the guys are bigger and stronger now. You look at, front lines weighing almost 350 pounds, that's a lot of carcass in the front line, And then you got linebackers that's running 4.6, so you're smashing into your body with those kind of, players. You're bound to go down, and it's hard to keep guys healthy. That's why I like what the Giants did 2 years ago when they won the Super Bowl. They had a running back of committee. They had like Earth, Wind, and Fire when they had, Jacobs, Bradshaw, and Ward, and they were really effective with that, because with one guy go down, like if Jacobs go down, you got Ward go put in or Bradshaw. So, I mean, now teams are looking at three-back systems. When I was playing, we didn't have three-back systems, the guys weren't that big out there to beat us up every week from week to week. But, nowadays you can't get through a season without a three-back system. As a follow-up question, do you think players will be 100% or will they be, dealing with lingering, nagging injuries? Well, it's hard to recover from injuries. Once you get an injury during the season, it's hard to recover. You have to block it out of your head from week to week. This is what you do in the off season. You train hard in the off season so you can develop a strong mental side of yourself where you can fight through those injuries and play through those injuries. Guys will never be 100%. Once you play at this level, you're going against, guys that, like I said earlier, 400-pound, 300-pound linemen and linebackers that can run 4.6, 4.5 like a Ray Lewis. you're not going to feel good after a game like that. So you're going to always have to deal with nagging injuries. So that's why you build a good, strong off season. Work on the mental side of your game, because the physical side, is easy, but the mental side, that's what you got to focus on. How can you get through a game from week to week? How can you recover from week to week? My last question: what's your take on players being so involved in social media technology like Twitter and Facebook and MySpace? Well, the league is definitely cracking down on social networking. Roger Goodell is enforcing the NFL players, the coaches, football operation personnel that they can't communicate 90 minutes before the game or 90 minutes after the game. If players are caught communicating on these networks, they would definitely be hit with a stiff fine. And I think it's right for him to do that, because you shouldn't disclose if one of your teammates got hurt, because we might have to restructure the way we're going to focus going to the next week game. We might not want to reveal if he's really hurt that bad. So players got to be careful when you working with the all those networks like Twitter. You got to be careful. You don't talk too much